Hi all, welcome back to a new post today. And today let's continue with the main topics that made news with regard to the TSPSC paper 2, unit 2. Let's continue with what we had stopped at yesterday. Today let's look at transportation, means of transportation, the role of road, rail network in economic development, highways, express highways, major ports, role of WTO, strategic location of India in the Indian Ocean, and other such topics in the unit 2, and let's complete it today. So let's speak about some of the important issues that made news with regard to these topics. Now coming to transportation, that comes under an important topic of infrastructure. You already have this topic even in the economy paper as well, so definitely it's going to help you there. And let me remind you, so best answers are going to get the good marks. You have to compete with regard to your answer writing, so please do not overlook any part of your syllabus as such, because even every mark counts, so in the examination. Let's look at some of the news that made important issue. Made news with regard to the infrastructure sector, and we know one famous very program is the PM Gati Shakti Yojana, and apart from that we have many sector specific programs as well. But let me tell you that there have been significant advancements with regard to India's transportation network, because the Prime Minister Narendra Modi had the goal of achieving a $5 trillion economy by 2022, and so now the government wants to become, and also is touting that India is going to become the third most developed nation in the next 5 years. This is what Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke on the Independence Day as well. And the backbone for economic growth, apart from your human resource, your institutions policy, is infrastructure. Logistics plays a very major role in economic development. And so if you look, there has been a lot of advancements, and the government has been focusing on infrastructure development, especially with regard to improving the export potential, improving the logistics, reducing the logistics cost, and also improving the export potential, and also the competitiveness of India's goods, faster movement and connectivity between different places. So there has been advancements in road, railways, aviation, waterways, and the impact on economic growth is par excellence. So these infrastructure developments aim to enhance the connectivity, they reduce the logistic costs. Logistic costs in India is very high, and position India as a global economic superpower. Now, fueled by the ambitious PM Gati Shakti master plan for multimodal infrastructure development, the new road and railways will help to fulfill India's ambition to turn India into a $5 trillion economy from the present $3.74 trillion currently under the IMF estimates of 2023. So revitalizing the road network is one of the major, because they are the lifelines or the arteries of the country. India boasts, let me tell you, of a world's largest road network covering 6.37 million kilometers, and in the recent years there have been substantial increase, especially with the construction of the national highways, from an average of 12 kilometers per day in 2014 and 15 to 29 kilometers in 2021 and 22, and now they want to increase it to further 32 kilometers. The total length of national highways has expanded from just 97,318,830 kilometers to 1,45,155 kilometers, though they just constitute about 2% of the roads in the country, but they play a major role of connecting the states and also the capitals of the states. India has a national logistic policy. You need to look into this. You should not forget to look into the Prime Minister Gram Sadak Yojana, which gives all weather roads to your villages. There is a vibrant villages program to improve the infrastructure in the border villages as well. Completion of strategic projects that has been in news recently with regard to Atal Tunnel, the Dhola Sadia Bridge, and also the Chenab River Bridge as well. The National Highway Authority of India now is bringing about investment bonds, and they have been listed on the BSE and the NSE as well. There has been the first survey of the surety bonds in insurance for the infrastructure project that was launched. There are 27 greenfield expressways being developed across the country. Let me tell you that national highways are 1,44,000 kilometers, state highways 1,86,000 kilometers, and other roads constitute 50 lakh kilometers in the country. National highways play a very important role in social development by enabling movement of not only passengers but also freight rate very fastly and improving market access. Now, as of 2022, the total length of the national highways is 1,44,000 square kilometers. There is an important program called as Bharatmala Pariyojana. Now, Bharatmala Pariyojana was launched mainly for optimizing the movement of goods and people across the country. Bharatmala Pariyojana emphasizes on corridor-based national highway development. The key components of Bharatmala Pariyojana are economic corridors development, inter-corridor, feeder routes, national corridor efficiency improvement, border and international connectivity roads, coastal and port connectivity roads and expressways. As a part of the phase 1 of the program, 27 greenfield corridors with a planned length of 9,000 plus kilometers have been developed, and as a part of Bharatmala Pariyojana, the largest expressway of India, which is 1,386 km long, that is the Delhi-Mumbai Expressway, is being developed. Some sections of Delhi, Ankleshwar sections of the expressway are nearly completed, and other corridors are nearing of completion. The another most important program under this road sector is the multimodal logistic parks. Now, these will serve as regional cargo aggregation and distribution hubs for various industrial and agriculture nodes, and consumer hubs and EXIM gateways such as seaports and multimodal connectivity will be ensured as well. So, these are the Sagarmala Pariyojana is another most important program. Port connectivity. Let's look at port connectivity. India has some 226 ports which comprise 12 major ports. A major program of port connectivity is Sagarmala. Coastal shipping traffic has increased from 74.9 million metric tons per annum to 133 million metric tons per annum in 2022, and you can see that the coastal potential or the port potential is being increasing with regard to trade. It plays a major role even now with regard to India's trade. Jawaharlal Nehru became the first landlord major port. The first incredible cruise conference is being developed. We already have the MV Vilas, the Ganga cruise, which is already on sailing on the river Ganga very recently. You have, with regard to ports, there is also a National Maritime Heritage Complex being developed. Water transport is very economical and also eco-friendly, and therefore the Ministry of Ports under Sagarmala has undertaken the Ro-Ro packs and passenger jetty projects also over several routes. Cruise terminals under the coastal shipping and the inland waterway pillar of Sagarmala. There are various projects that focus on promotion of cruise passenger transport, upgradation, modernization of international cruise terminals, that is the Indira Dock at Mumbai. Further, the ministry is also assisting the Syama Prasad Mukherjee Port in Kolkata for river cruise terminal as well. There are floating jetties that are being developed as a part of the port development for water aerodromes, and also floating jetties and guidelines to various technical aspects have already been given for floating jetties. Under the PM Gati Shakti Multimodal Waterway Connectivity Summit, there was a lot of interest touted in these floating jetties and also waterway connectivity in the country as well. Trends, with regard to recent trends, you have a topic called as recent trends in the trade. I would tell you that please follow the recent trends. Every month you have a data about your export, import, major export, major imports, your trade deficit, major countries that are exporters, major countries that are importers, what are the major products and the changes. So these, and the best way to actually track out the annual change is your economic survey that we will cover very soon. Now, with regard to your role of WTO, many issues have gone with regard to India in the WTO. WTO is the World Trade Organization is an international organization that regulates trade among the countries, and many issues have gone about India to the World Trade Organization. Let's have a quick review of them. So measures related to solar cells and solar modules are being now they are gone to the WTO, and that is between India and US. Tariff treatment on certain goods, especially the information and communication technology goods, where Japan and EU have filed a case on India at the WTO. Sugarcane subsidies by India. India has now become the largest sugar producer, and the countries such as Brazil, Australia, Guatemala have filed a case against India because of the subsidies. Export related measures now are again at WTO between India and US, and recently India has filed a case against EU in the WTO with regard to its carbon tax mechanism. So that is most important recent issues with regard to WTO. If you look at the strategic location of India in the Indian nation, the most important thing that you need to know from the geographical point of view is the United Nations Convention on the Law of Sea, exclusive economic zone, the benefits of the exclusive economic zone, what are the rights that the country has, your coastal regulation zone as well as a part of this. The major Sagarbala project, again, fishing resources, strategic position with regard to trade routes, especially India stands at the head of the Indian Ocean, how it is at the center of the trade route, very, very close to the Strait of Malacca, which is a very, very important trade route, near to the military bases of Djibouti, Eritrea by China, and also how Maldives and Sri Lanka as well. Apart from that, you can speak of the Quad, the deep sea mission, which has been given permission to India to especially, survey and also see the minerals which it can obtain from the deep sea ocean with regard to India. These are some of the important issues that made news with regard to strategic location of India with respect to Indian Ocean, not forgetting the very, very large continental shelf, which has a very, very huge potential with regard to gas and petroleum reserves, which are still not properly explored and also exploited and also taken for exploration. So these are the most important things that you can really speak about. Apart from that, you can also speak about tidal energy as well as your ocean thermal energy as well, because India has a very, very long coastline of 7,516 kilometers. Now looking at HDI, you have a particular topic called as HDI. Under that, you had a recent report of Human Development Index given in 2021 and 22. India's rank on the HDI has decreased from 130 in 2020 to 132 in 2022, and this is in line to fall in the HDI scores in wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. So let's look at now HDI is a composite index that measures life expectancy as birth, expected schools years of schooling, mean years of schooling, and also gross national income as well. If you look at the India's perspective, India's HDI value in 2021 stood at 0.633, that is 0.633, which was lower than the world average of 0.732. In 2022, India had recorded a decline of HDI value of 0.642 in comparison to the pre-pandemic level of 0.645. If you look at the life expectancy, according to the recent report, it is about 67.2 years. Schooling, the mean years, expected years of schooling is 11.19, and the mean years of schooling is 6.7. Gross national income, that is the gross national income per capita, look at USD dollars of 6,590. Gender inequality index, India has been ranked 122. You can use these even in your society topics as well. If you look at urbanization, you have a topic called as urbanization and demography. Demography is static. You can use the recent National Family Health Survey data, and apart from that, you can also use the data of the 2011 your census and the recent National Family Health Survey data as well. So you need to remember all those metrics which are very, very important. They will not only help you in this paper, but I'm sure it will also help you in your societal issues with regard to your essay paper as well. Looking at urbanization, India presently 35% of urban areas is urbanized at 35%, and it is expected to increase to 53% by 2047, the year India wants to become a developed nation according to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And our urban population is set to double, with about 400 million more population living in cities. You can remember of programs such as Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana with regard to housing, sustainable development goals with regard to sustainable cities, especially with regard to urbanization, its major problems of climate change, haphazard regional planning, and haphazard urbanization, that growing of urban areas, extension of urban areas, and mostly with regard to sustainable urbanization. What are the solutions of sustainable urbanization? Apart from what is the present feature of urbanization in India, will definitely help you to write a very, very good answer. And if you can look at the recent programs, as I told you, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, sustainable development goals, you can speak about how the government is planning about a Jal Jeevan mission urban component, and you can speak about Amrit mission, that is Atal mission for rejuvenation and urban transformation, not forgetting your smart cities mission, and also your Swachh Bharat mission 2.0, which is very, very important. So I've not touched the demographic. As I told you can look at the data of the National Family Health Survey, and apart from that, the recent census of 2011, that will be more than sufficient, and also track the metrics as well, not only from the India level but also from the state of Telangana, which will help you to write very good essays, and can also help you to draw a flow chart, or also diagrammatically you can represent them, which will fetch you good marks. So with this, I leave this topic here, and I shall continue in my next post tomorrow with another important topic and with another important part of the geography, or maybe another paper of the TSPSC. And until then, it's very happy learning.